I have a special guest, the Man Beast Rhino.
Yes, pulling back
Legend wrestling, the King of Gore.
What an introduction.
I've been watching you since ECW, you and RVD, Sabu. I've always been a big fan of yours.
Oh, thank you.
What was the best match you had?
Oh, geez. That's hard to narrow down. If I had matches with Sabu, Sandman,
Great match.
I mean, the Invasion match, it was, I think it was, 5-on-5?
Yeah.
It was at the Invasion pay-per-view.
Yeah.
I had so many great matches that I was proud of. So I can't narrow it down to one, but Booker and I, we had a great match overseas for TNA.
I remember that,
Yeah, so, it was just so many.
What made you get into wrestling?
I just loved it as a fan, and I got into it in 94. I started training in 95. I had my first match. I just figured, you know what, I'll give it my all. It's obviously scary when you're trying to go into the profession, no matter what it is. But I figure I'll go after it, and then at 5 years, I'll see where I'm at, and then either continue or change. But yeah.
And I love the spine buster. The spine buster.
Yes.
Oh my!
Yes.
And your Gore, the Gore spine buster, that's what made you to me.
I didn't get a chance to hit a spine buster tonight, but I got a Gore in.
I see. I love every match you do the spine buster. You do it perfect.
Oh, thank you.
To me, it kind of reminds me of Arn Anderson's spine buster.
Actually, it's cool that you brought that up because I actually asked Arn Anderson if I could use it for a little bit in WWE as a finish, and he said, yeah. I go, man, it's an honor for you to give me your blessing.
Yeah, I bet. So,
he was a producer.
Nice, yeah.
At the time.
I kept up. Like I said, I've been a wrestling fan. I was born in '84, and I'm from Flint, Michigan. I'm born and raised here. I've been watching wrestling since '86. WrestleMania 1.
Same here, yeah.
I watched TNA. My best friend was a professional wrestler, Brandon Spyro, BKNY. He was a wrestler, but he passed away due to wrestling injuries. But he was a great dude. He got me in back into watching and loving wrestling and gave me a passion for it again. This is a very funny story, and Joe, he could tell you about it. I know it's not wrestling. I love wrestling, it's real. But I just did it just to see how you do. When I said it, I got hit in the back with a chair, and I did my Ric Flair, and I crossed my legs and it fell on the ground. It was so funny. I love it. Everything about wrestling. It's just it's the athletics and the stamina and everything.
Yeah.
I always wish I was bigger enough to be able to wrestle and everything. But
the thing with wrestling is you got to know the fans you're wrestling in front of. If you're wrestling in Michigan, in certain parts of Michigan, if you're wrestling, and the crowd you're wrestling in front of too. So if it's all kids, if it's adults and kids, if it's out east, they're a little bit different. So the worst thing you could do is go and wrestle in front of a crowd and they not be into it, or they're not into the match because you're not telling the story they want to hear, So that's another thing, and it comes with time, and you can't compromise your style, but you also gotta wrestle to make sure they enjoy it. If you're on TV, you gotta play the TV audience and kind of figure what the audience at home wants. But if the audience at the arena is having fun, or the gymnasium or wherever you're wrestling, then it translates well.
I looked at it like y'all body was telling a story. The matches y'all have, the slams and the punches. To me, I always been fascinated about it.
And I still watch current stuff from the past, stuff from whatever I can get my hands on, 60s, 70s, and what is old can be new again when it comes to moves and stuff like that. So it's always a learning process.
Yeah, it is. And AEW, do you keep up AEW?
I didn't catch it the last week, I think. But that match, Edge and Christian on Wednesday, that main event, oh my God. And that's a match you can, and I'm not saying that because you're friends of mine, even though Christian is kind of a dick in real life. But that match, you can literally sit down, you know, at a wrestling school and say, okay, watch this match, and you can learn from it. It's one of those matches where, and the thing is you got a pay-per-view. They can have more matches, and it won't be the same thing. You know, it's just like that match. And see, here's the thing, and I'll say it first here. But I thought about this. I don't do a lot of podcasts, but they have the mind of a 40 or 50 year old person. And they have a mind of a person that's wrestling or that's been in the wrestling business for over 30 some years. Then they have a mind of a person that's watched wrestling since 85 or 84 or 82 or 83. So they have several decades of knowledge. But their body, because remember, they didn't wrestle for 10 or 12 years. But they worked out, they stayed in great shape, their muscles have matured. So they basically have all that experience mentally, and their bodies are like 36-year-olds. You know, it doesn't have those 12 years or however many years they were active in wrestling. So, you know, so that's what makes them even better than, you know, just being, you know, guys in their 50s, because their bodies are fucking 36-year-olds.
So who's somebody you looked up to when you start wrestling and still look up to?
Everybody. Guys that I really look up to are guys that are good people in real life, and a lot of people are. Guys that would mentor you or mentor others. Yeah, so I mean, there's so many of them.
I had a question for you, Rafa. To me, I felt like Christian was always underrated to me.
Oh, Christian's a champion over and over, and he's been a champion over and over. I actually had a match with him, and I think it was Christian, myself, and Kurt Angle.
Wow.
Yeah, and it went the whole hour of Impact. Yeah, it was a great freaking match. Yeah, it was an hour-long match.
Yeah, I loved him. Like, you, Kurt Angle, Christian, Edge, like, to me, y'all kept me amused. Like, like, y'all told stories, like, ton of stories.
But anyways, I got to get going. So.
Oh. Welcome to PUWF. This is your boy Dwalk. I got a local legend.
What up, baby?
What's your name? What
BD Smooth. That's BDSM. Those are my initials. Smoother than a baby's bottom, smaller than most got them. Not talking about my dick. Look at these calves. Only calves. Why only fans? Why not? Why, you know, YouTube? Why not Smooth Tube? Check it out. I got a lot of videos, a lot of content. I've been doing this for 9 years. But you know what? I started on YouTube in 2010. I had a character before that, but we'll talk more about that later. BD Smooth.
So BD Smooth, who is your favorite person to wrestle? Local,
I got to wrestle. What's the question? If you can repeat it, what was the question? No, what was the question?
Who was your favorite person to wrestle?
Well, I was in this year. I was in a war games. That was me. My team was 4-on-4. Might have been 5-on-5, but we took 2 cages, put 2 rings together. It was quite interesting. I got handcuffed at the end of that match and got hit in that chair hit in the head with the chair while I was handcuffed. That was some old school ECW kind of shit.
Who was one wrestler you always looked up to?
Jimmy Jacobs and Chris Harrow.
Nice for that.
Yeah.
What?
Some people might not know of them, but like for Ring of Honor, a company that, like right now it seems like it's real big, but when it was like really, really big, like I've set up rings for them as well. Like that's usually what I do on the weekends when I'm not working with Taco Bell, Monday through Thursday, and I've been doing that for 9 years as well. Same as wrestling.
So do you keep up with wrestling? Do you keep up with wrestling now?
Do I what?
Do you keep up with wrestling now?
Yeah, I try to keep up with wrestling, like with AEW and WWE. And
so what wrestling company do you like, and what organization?
Michigan-wise, I can say MCPW, Mikey. If you want to be trained by anyone in Michigan, I definitely recommend House of Truth Martini if Michigan-wise. And I've been noticed in Chicago, back when I started off as a tag team wrestler, the Slobber Knockers, and then they had us from Detroit, Michigan, which is weird because that's where I ended up breaking my neck. Not saying, well, my birthday's in 11/11, 1985, same year WrestleMania came out. Yeah, I used to break cribs with my head. And who would have thought, like, an accidental match, like, shit happened.
So, give me 2 of your favorite wrestlers in WWE, 2 in AEW, and your all-time favorite wrestler.
WWE right now, let's see. I like Tommaso Ciampa. I like Tommaso Ciampa. Did you know he once, one of the other guys at the ring crew, he like slapped him, like, the guy that slapped him wasn't trained. I mean, shit happened. It was like, yeah, that's crazy. And then, I don't know, let's see, John. I'm not gonna lie, I'm a little high right now. I'm trying not to have to be. I'll talk more about that later. Gotcha.
I'm sure we can catch up and not like. I want to like check out my podcast, PUWF. You scan your phone barcode.
Send me your links. I got you.
Okay.
Got you.
And this is JBD Smooth. Thank you, sir, for the interview.
Dub City, baby.
We out.
Stepped in here looking like 2 million.
This is PUWF. My name is Dwalk. I'm here with
Rohit Raju, baby.
And where you from?
I'm from actually from Saginaw.
Saginaw. I'm from Flint. So.
Okay, word.
How long you been wrestling? How long exactly you been wrestling?
Forever. I forget. It's double digits.
What was the best match you've ever had?
I couldn't even tell you. The most memorable would be winning the X Division Impact Wrestling, TNA Wrestling X Division Championship. Yeah, that was probably my career highlight at the moment.
So far. That's a great compliment. And if you want, this is my podcast right here. All you gotta do is take a picture of it, and you go straight to my podcast.
Okay.
I'm on Wednesdays and Thursdays. And thank you.
Yeah, no problem, man. Thank you. Thanks for coming out to the show.
I'm D-Walk. I got, what's your name?
Karam. I just tagged with my boy James over here. He was actually a stunt double. No, he was a stunt double for Zac Efron in the Iron Claw movie. He really was. I'm not.
That's dope.
Yeah.
Hey, that's dope.
That's the guy.
I'm a nobody.
So this guy, he legally changed his name to Zac Efron.
But by the way, great match.
Yeah.
I had a blast.
Awesome.
Watching every match.
Very cool.
I've been a wrestling fan since I was 2.
Okay.
I mean, like WrestleMania 1.
Yeah. Very cool.
Who is your favorite current wrestler in AEW or WWE? Impact.
Yeah, bro. I mean, you can't go wrong with Roman Reigns.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That's the guy
Chief.
held the titles for how long now? Over 1,000-some days. You know, it's a superstar.
Yeah.
I'm all about larger than life.
Yeah.
So anybody who carries that presence and persona, that's where the money is,
Yeah.
in my opinion. Regardless of how much you wrestle in the year or anything, that's a superstar. That's the draw.
Yeah, I agree.
That's what anybody should strive to be.
I agree,
You know
yeah.
what I mean?
I look forward to seeing you more on the TV show.
Yeah.
Man, you got a podcast and thing?
No, you can follow me on Instagram, Karam, IZZAT. And you can follow me on that on Twitter too. So I appreciate the time, man. Thank you.
So how long you been wrestling?
6 years now. Yeah, I'm 27.
What was the longest match you wrestled before?
The longest match was 30 minutes against Nate Matson. Yeah, Nate Matson's a local guy in Michigan, one of the legends over here. You know, he's been around when Rhino's been around too. So we're lucky to have a lot of good guys in Michigan like Rhino and Nate Matson and all those guys. So yeah, I'm happy to do it. Learn that. Yeah.
Man, I thank you. I appreciate it.
Absolutely.
And check me out. I'll keep up and start watching you.
Yeah,
Thank you.
Thank you very much.